So you want an ultra fast, extremely crazy mob farm like what I got going in the back here. Well, this is Gnembon's design. This is also the farm that Mumbo Jumbo used in season 7 of Hermitcraft. He just scaled it and made 4 of these modules to make it even more efficient than this. And you can definitely do that. You can definitely scale this up as high or even smaller than this one. But we're going to be going over this one today. If we pull up the testing that I did earlier, I did do a tick warp. The tick warp is currently going, so the speed that you see in the background is actually not the right speed. It's actually doing a tick warp right now. But as you can see, we got 9,500, almost 9,600 items per hour. So that's 2,000 gunpowder an hour, almost 2,000 bones per hour, and about 1,400 string per hour. And that's absolutely crazy. And later on in the tutorial in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to make this for creepers and spiders only, because those are normally the mobs that I need the most of. I don't normally need that much bone or rotten flesh, you know, because normally I get a skeleton grinder for bones, and you know, you can't really do much with rotten flesh. So let's start just getting right into this design that Gnembon has put together and has had around for quite a while. I know his video is very technical and goes into this thing, so I want to make mine a little bit more simple for like simple-minded people like me, so that we can understand. Do you want to play on a Minecraft server with me and receive some other really cool benefits? Definitely consider becoming a Patreon today. You can learn more on the Patreon site, which is linked down below. This was a very nice comment for someone to leave on one of my videos, so I wanted to shout out the comment really quick. If you want one of your comments to be shouted out in a future video, all you have to do is leave a nice comment on this video. If you need help from me or have any questions for me, or you want help on any of these designs, the easiest way to get in touch with me is on Discord. The link to join the Discord is down below. Cool, so let's get back into the video. So first of all, let's turn off the tick warp so that we can see how fast this thing really goes. So if we turn this off, you can see there's a period of time where there's no water and all the mobs are spawning on the platforms. After a period of time, the water will then flush all of the mobs off of the platform down into this little dish where they all collect, and then it pushes them down into the middle where they then drop down here. It was nice for Gnembon to actually add this little area down here where we can just swipe at all the mobs that happen to have feather falling on them. You can take care of the mobs that have feather falling however you want. I've even seen designs that have dispensers at the bottom that shoot out the arrows that you get from the skeletons back out at the mobs, so it kills them that way automatically with the dispensers. So I think that's really cool, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. We have all the mobs dropping down into these hoppers, and then you can see the collection system right here is the wool. I just use the wool because that is what's used in carpet mob to actually get all these statistics and get the output. So right now, the reason why we're getting these rates on this farm is because if we go into spectator mode, you can see that there's no caves around. All the caves have been cleared out, so this is the only spawning space that you can actually have in this area. I also have night vision on so we can see in here, but if I were to turn night vision off, you'd actually be able to see that all of these spots in here are completely dark. They're completely dark. They have a light level of 0. So now that I've turned off my night vision, you can see all of the spots in here look very dark, and we can come in here and we can see the light level on all of these blocks is 0. And that is important. If you have a light level of 7, and the game will still spawn in mobs with a light level of 7, but there is an 85% chance that the mob spawning that the game tries to do will fail. If you go down to, I think it's like light level 4, there's a 50% chance. And then I know once you get down to level 0, there is a 0% chance that the mob spawning will fail. So you really want all of your spawning areas where you're going to be spawning mobs to be at a light level of 0 to get the most out of the farm. And the way that we do that in this farm is with this little roof over the top of the farm. So if you were to take some of this roof away, you'd see that then some of these platforms do begin to light up. So right now, this one is at light level 5. So it would still spawn mobs, but there is a chance that the spawning will actually fail and we won't get any mobs that spawn there when the game tries to. And we definitely want to avoid that to keep the efficiency all the way as efficient as we possibly can. So to keep all the efficiency, we definitely want to be light level 0. And to do that, what you need to do is you need to see where the end of the spawning platform is. You know, break up a spot right above it and then count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, you need this roof to go out 14 blocks in every direction past the last spot where the spawning platform is to make sure that we do get a light level of 0 on the spawning platform. And the way that this timer works is that it's set up just like this. And I gotta be honest, I don't completely understand how this timer works. I just know that, you know, putting the power into the comparator, it's going to shoot it out into the repeaters. That's going to create the clock. When it comes back out, it shuts it off, and then it just keeps doing that cycle. Now every once in a while it's going to click on top of this dropper, so that's going to send a signal down below, and down below we have an observer that will pick up the signal from the dropper and send it to this dispenser right here that's full of water. Now, observers can send a signal through an air block as long as they're pointed downwards. So that is a mechanic that you need to know in order to make sure this thing works and you can get it to work. So you are able to send that signal into this dispenser, and then on the floor below we have another observer facing into that dispenser, which actually points into and sends the signal down into the dispenser that's down below. And it's just this chain of that same thing, observer into the dispenser that points down into an air block right above the dispenser of the floor right below. So it's like that all the way down to the bottom here, so it covers all the floors. Once all the mobs get pushed off into the edges down here into this collection system, they all get pushed down there, and then they end up falling to their death. Or if they have feather falling, then they end up down there, and you're gonna have to take care of those ones. For those of you who are wanting to build this thing, what you need to keep in mind is that you need to light up the area down here to prevent mobs from spawning down here, because it is dark down here if you don't have night vision on. I did put my night vision back on. Here is roughly the materials you're gonna need to make this farm. You're gonna need a lot of water buckets. The more you have would be better. You're gonna need this many stacks of slabs, so you are gonna need a ridiculous number of slabs. You're gonna need some hoppers. You're gonna need some fence gates, not signs, fence gates instead of the signs. You're also gonna need dispensers, observers, 1 comparator, 24 repeaters, and a lever. You're also going to need some torches to light up caves below if you want to do that, or just light up the ground below you. You're also going to need a chest to collect all the drops from the mobs. What you do is you need to make the floor at least 23 blocks above the layer right here. So you can see right here I'm on floor level, or Y level 64. So you need to build it up at least 23 blocks above that level. This one actually drops them from 94, which is 30 blocks above that level. So Gnembon was being a little bit safe when he came up with this design and had them drop 30 whole blocks. So what you need to do to build this farm is start by being at least 23 blocks above where you're going to actually have the kill mechanism, or where you have the hoppers to collect all the drops. And then you need to build out 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Build 2 off to the side, go diagonal until you meet up with this side, and then have this diagonal platform down below. You then need to go up 1 block and have a 3 floors right here, so that they push down in the middle, and then bring up the funneling system up 1 right here, and then you can put the water sources all right here. And then with a block that doesn't spawn mobs, so I used the glass, just put a rim around this thing. You don't need all of these blocks here, but you can put them in if you want. And then that just keeps the water from flowing off the other way. Also, using glass prevents any mobs from spawning here, so it doesn't mess up any other rates. Once you have the funneling system in place, what you need to do is from the bottom, you need to build up 1, 2, 3 blocks. So this one would be the 3rd. And then on the top of this block, this is where we're going to make our first platform. So to build this up, you put a dispenser right here. You put a bucket of water inside of it. And then to build up the next layer, what you need to do Just put another dispenser on the layer above that. So you need to put 2 blocks in between. You can use any building blocks to build up. Put the second dispenser just like that, and then you can come down to the first level and put an observer facing downwards. Just like that, so when it faces into here, so that when this dispenser triggers, it then triggers the dispenser underneath of that one. And then that's going to dispense the water and make sure that all the water comes out and pushes all the mobs down into the middle. To make these platforms the right size, you need to build out 7 with the slabs out in each of the directions from the dispenser. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go out on that side as well. Connect up the diagonals and then just fill in all of the slabs in between so that you have this diamond shaped platform for all of the mobs to spawn on. This area down in the middle to make it so that this platform can't mess up at all. What you need to do for this 3x3 box in the middle is go ahead and put slabs in these spots where we're gonna put these fence gates. So just like this, you can fill all of these in, and then you can put the fence gates down and then just make sure you open them up. Once you put all of these in here, make sure they're all open. You just need one on all the spots. It doesn't matter what direction they're actually facing. Then you can take out the slabs that we had here temporarily, and now that will make it so that all the mobs will come into the middle here and then fall down to their death down below. The next step is to make the roof, and to make the roof, what you need to do is go up another 2 blocks again and mirror what you did down below with these platforms, and then again you need to come out 14 blocks from the last slab that you put right there, and then do that on all the sides, make the diagonals, and then fill in all the blocks in the middle. So you may be asking how to make this timer up here, and what you need to do in this spot right here, you need to put either a dispenser or a dropper. I'm just going to go ahead and use a dispenser because that's what we've been using. You can have it face any way. I'm just going to go ahead and have it face sideways. That's fine. And then down below, you're going to need to put an observer down below it that's also facing down. So every time it gets an update, the observer is going to see and send the signal downwards, just like that. Once you have that in place, you need to put slabs going out 7 this direction, 7 going this direction, but then on this side, you only need the 6 plus the 1 plus the 7. So this one's going to be 14 slabs long, and this side's going to be 15 slabs long. And then you can put the switch, the lever right here. This will turn the farm on and off. And then you need a comparator coming out of the switch, and then you need to fill up this whole line with repeaters set to 4 ticks. So make sure these are set all the way to 4 ticks. Every single one of these is set to 4 ticks. It goes all the way this way. You have 2 redstone dots on the end right here, and then this whole row is also going to be repeaters set to 4 ticks all the way back, and then 1 redstone dust on the end right here. Some things that you will want to keep in mind is that you will need to light up all the caves that are underneath the farm, and you can check that by going into spectator mode and seeing where all the farms are and making sure they're all lit up. This world doesn't actually have caves, but you can see I kind of did that right there so that nothing spawns in there. If you have caves down below, the farm is not going to work well unless you have an AFK spot up above the farm. When you are making this AFK spot, you need to keep in mind that the mobs are going to be falling to the ground, so you don't want them to despawn when they actually, before they hit the ground or when they do hit the ground. So you need to make this 127 blocks above the ground. Ground level is typically at 64, so 191 would be good, 192 would probably also be good. And that's because mobs despawn when they get 128 blocks away from the player. So just make sure that this AFK spot is 126, 127 blocks above the ground. And that's going to be a good level for you to AFK at. If you AFK this high, you also don't need to mob proof or light up all the caves that are down below, because no mobs will spawn in the caves down below. What you would want to do is light up the area on the ground just below your AFK spot, just to make sure that no mobs spawn down there. You do not actually need to make the slabs out of the smooth stone slab. You can make them cobblestone slabs or even wooden slabs if you want. For any of these, you can use any kind of slab that you want. And there's also going to be mobs that occasionally live from this drop, that survive this drop, that you're going to have to come down here and kill, but it doesn't affect the rates much. You can also make however many layers you want on this mob farm. This one has 10, but you could even just do 2 if you wanted, or you can add more to this. In Mumbo Jumbo's video, he actually made 10 platforms like this, but then he made 4 modules like this. Cool, well, I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it wasn't a block by block tutorial, but I think you guys can build this given the information that I've given you. I hope that this was a simplified version of Gnembon's video. I'm gonna link down to his video down below, so thank you, Gnembon, for your video. And the mob farm design, it has been very helpful, and I know it has helped a lot of people. I hope my viewers also find it valuable. If you did like this video and you learned something new, definitely leave a like, and if you really liked it, then definitely subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cool. Bye-bye for now.